St. Valentine, and with me as always, the host with the Ramosis, Mr. Caidan Ramos.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. And also today we got a special guest behind the desk over there running producers, Mr. Egon Strangler.
Hey guys.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. Good to be here.
You having a good day?
Yeah.
Step into the microphone and talk to it. That one kind of sucks.
Step into it. About here?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, cool.
Just talk into the side of it.
Talking to the
Get
mic.
your mouth all the way around it. What the hell are we talking about today, Caidan?
We are talking about Batman 98, 99, and 100, the last of the Joker War.
That's right. We're wrapping up the Joker War series, which I guess we can give our final thoughts when we're done with this. But before we get into it, like just overall, give me one word to describe the entire series. What are you feeling now that you're done with it? Now it's concluded.
I'm satisfied.
So just satisfied. That's satisfied.
Yeah, it was a good story. The way it ended was a lot better than I guess some of the build-up, some of the tie-ins. But
I did. All right. So the tie-ins definitely added. The tie-ins for this are I guess necessary if you care a lot about what's going on with the Bat family. Anything that actually happened in them though was described, and that you needed was described usually in like one sentence of dialogue to get you through the next point. You say satisfied. Yeah, I would say that I would agree with you, but in a very mediocre way, like very middle of the road. Like I'm not satisfied because I went out and had my favorite meal. I'm satisfied because damn it, I'm starving and I found half a packet of Cheez-Its in the back of my car. I'm like, okay, I'm no longer starving. I had a couple of Cheez-Its. They were a little stale, but I had some Cheez-Its and I'm okay.
Yeah, it was a good story. It's not gonna be an instant classic like Court of Owls or anything like that, but it was a good story for what it was.
Yeah, you say for what it was, but for what it was, I mean, it's a Joker story. It's an all-out Joker story that's supposed to be an all-encompassing story arc, especially coming off the heels of Year of the Villain, which was is still going on because it's going on into
Future State.
Well, yeah, but it's currently going on in death metal. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
And I realize that this is something supposed to be smaller scale and more intimate and things like that. I just think it was done better because a lot of these beats were repeated in Three Jokers, and I think it was done better in Three Jokers.
Yes.
Because again, you got some of all the same elements. Of course, Batman being beaten back, a showdown with Joker, a Batman apology tour, Bat family pissy with Batman because he wasn't good enough to him.
Mm-hmm. Final fight in the theater / Ace Chemical.
Yeah, always at Ace Chemical. Fucking Ace Chemical.
Their insurance got to be through the roof, though.
Dude, seriously. Like, who would buy that place and keep it running? Like, if you owned it, you'd just sell it at this point, right? And who would buy it and keep it going?
I imagine Bruce has the money to do it. He's doing it with one of his shell companies.
I guess. Fucking hell, man. He must bring a lot of income into Gotham and he has to keep it going, but that place just gets hit constantly.
Also, you figured they'd put more money into the putting lids on those bats of chemicals. Just a thought,
right? Just a wire mesh over the top.
I mean, especially you're saying with the insurance as well. Like,
yeah,
you'd figure at some point, listen, cover that shit.
We need to get O'Shea in here to do another review.
Yeah, nothing is up to standard in that place.
None of these villains are wearing hard hats.
So we open Batman 98. Scarecrow and Riddler playing chess. Obviously, the being cooped up is kind of getting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, we establish again that Catwoman's finally awake. She's healed from her wounds from encountering Punchline earlier on in the series. And she, of course, wants to get the hell out of here, but quite impossible at the moment. None of the villains are inclined to leave the safety of the iceberg. But same time, they are going a little stir crazy, but they're just betting on, who's going to set a fire where and things like that. So kind of just, sitting back and sipping the wine while the world burns around him.
Yeah, waiting to see who comes out on top.
Man, it's better than fucking with Joker, I suppose.
Yeah, especially when he's got all those Joker bat toys.
Yeah, if the Joker's got no interest in coming at the villains, then just
wait it out.
Say yeah.
Though I do gotta say that Catwoman showing a little bit of her humanity, saying it's my fault Joker has all this money. That was.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny situation though. That conversation in general, because she says it to Penguin.
Yeah,
and. This is a scene that you've seen 100 times before between superheroes, right? Especially like if you read Justice League Dark, it almost happens every fucking issue between Zatanna and Constantine. It's always this, Oh, I screwed everything up. No, you didn't. You did your best, love. It's Constantine talking to Zatanna if you didn't get it. Anyway, uh,
I've seen the animated movies. I know what he sounds like.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. If you've ever seen the live action movie, now I'm Constantine. All right.
Whoa.
There's demons, Gabriel.
I heard they were talking about having David Tennant play him in a movie
I'm
or
down
something.
for that.
I am all
I am
for it.
fucking on board for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justice League Dark, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, David Tennant playing Constantine, perfect. No one better. Yeah,
Yeah.
all about it.
Bleach his hair. Done.
Done. Yeah,
What the fuck were we on about? Joey's distracting.
Uh, Catwoman feeling sorry for herself.
Yeah. So she has that moment with Penguin. She's feeling sorry for herself. And normally, the other hero like makes him feel better. It's like, no, you did your best. And Penguin's like, oh no, it's much worse than that. You sell yourself short. You gave him like, she's like, I gave him the money to start the war. He's like, oh no, you sell yourself short. You might gave him the money to win the war. Like,
Yeah.
Twist that a little bit more. It's just nice that they stay true to being villains and not
Yeah.
making each other feel better about anything. It's like, nah, I fucked up. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
fucked
did.
up.
You really fucked up.
You go fishing there, bitch. You might catch something. All right. So Batman's still hallucinating, having his conversation with Alfred in his head.
Mhm.
And during all this, he's, of course, in Harley's little Eden. And while he's tripping balls and talking to Alfred and having his 1 millionth come to Jesus internal conversation with himself, where he, has to accept that what he can and can't do, yada, yada, yada. Punchline shows up, though, and starts burning the fucking place to the ground. So Harley and Punchline are having to get into it while Batman is having to come to terms with Alfred's death essentially within his own head. And the Alfred voice in his head and him are having tea. And he's kind of like, it's funny because Alfred finally gets mad at him and like slaps him and tells him, you need to accept what you can do and what you can't change. And you can't change the fact that I died. You couldn't help that. And you need to not push your fucking family away and be good to your Bat family, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. All the messages you usually get from Batman over and over again, but it was nice to have it come from Alfred, even if it was a voice in his head.
Yeah.
Because maybe with this time, maybe it is Bruce coming to these conclusions within himself, even if it is through the voice of his real father, Alfred. I don't need the Alfred for that. I mean, it should have done that for the real father thing. I don't know why I put the quotes in the wrong place. It doesn't matter.
there were quotes.
Yeah, you can figure out where they go. I'll just throw their things. It's a shotgun blast the way I talk. I just throw words out there and hopefully they congeal into a sentence that makes sense. Maybe we can be done with this part of the story arc now. And since they're going to go to a future state, move away from Bruce Wayne anyway, I get maybe we can be done with the whole Bruce Wayne's a bad dad
Yeah.
or a failure to his Bat family and yada yada. We went into this last time. I'm sick of the Batman apology tour, and when we get to issue 100,
Comes back.
it gets really heavy. Yeah, it's funny, when they get angry Alfred though when he slaps Batman, he kind of looks like Snidely Whiplash in that drawing. Uh, but Bruce comes to he finally is like yes, you're right. I need to have and rely on my family. I don't have to do this alone, and you know I don't need because he's been hearing Alfred's voice in his head for the last few issues and stuff. He's like, because he's afraid he's not going to hear his voice anymore once he wakes up and he's cured of the toxin and stuff. And he's like, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm in your head. You knew what I was going to say to you
Mhm.
anyway. This is in your heart. It's in your mind. It's in your soul. You know what you need to do. Now go do it. And he gets up and have this nice, cool, I am fucking Batman moment. And like when he jumps and like takes out Punchline,
Yeah.
she's like, how could you do that? Like, it was a wonderful classic. The villain can't believe it and they're stunned moment or whatever. But let's talk a little bit about Punchline and Harley's confrontation here.
Okay.
Because as it's playing out, it's intermixed, of course, with the Batman inner dialogue. And the one thing I will complain about in this issue is that it's obvious that they have no faith in the intelligence of the audience because they had to point blank have Alfred say the message of the story.
Mhm.
They say it in the opening act, when he's driving along, we're having our flashback where he's
Yeah.
like, the Joker thinks I'm the only person who's alive. We discussed that. I was like, oh yeah, this is the whole point of this thing.
Mhm.
This is what it all means, We got it in the opening dialogue when he delivered it. And then we had Alfred had to come back and say it again. And not only just say that line again, but also say point blank, his companions think that it's about something else, but really it's just about you with a picture of like a Punchline of him in the background, It's like
Mhm.
just on the fucking nose. It's like, we get it, guys. We're not stupid. It's okay. We're not complete dum-dums. I thought that was a little pandering, a little clumsy.
Well, I can see. I know that these issues uh aren't necessarily meant for entirely a younger adult audience. You would have to have that in there for the kids, I would imagine.
I don't think these are necessarily for the kids. The Joker ain't for the kids, man. Not
It's
the way he's
not.
being written today.
It's not, but people are still gonna buy them for the kids. They don't understand.
God, I hope not.
People don't understand. They don't keep up with comics the way that we do.
Don't buy comics for your children. Like, even if it doesn't say DC Black Label on it, this is not for kids. This is for 12 and up. 12 and up. Comics are for 12 and up. Unless it looks like a fucking cartoon, like really cartoony, comics are for 12 and up. Kind of always have been.
Yeah.
Unless you went to like the campy stuff in the 60s and shit. Like back in like the gold and silver age, maybe not so much. But ever since then, they've kind of put a little bit of an edge on there. Just don't let your kids just read whatever the fuck they want to. Guess it was a little bit easier in the 90s when like you could tell it wasn't for kids because everyone's tits and ass were falling out over the covers and
Yeah.
stuff. God bless you, Layfield.
Tits, ass, and pouches.
So many pouches.
So
And
many pouches.
terrible feet.
Awful feet. Hands.
Huge pecs.
Yeah, huge pecs. Hands look like spiders. Yeah.
So what was it someone called the McFarlane era of Spider-Man? The Spider-Man gets a hernia era.
I've never heard that before, but I can totally see it.
Just leg is like up over here. It's the Spider Sutra era. So with Batman awake, toxins purged, punchlines taken out, he is going to finally do what he should have done in the first place, and he commands the Bat computer to locate all the Bat family and, you know, send a signal out to all of them. You know, he's going to finally not just rely on himself, but rely on his family. Nice little story arc turn here for him, I guess.
Can,
He's done it plenty of times. Yeah.
can we talk about how he does that though?
So his computer is out. It's dead. And Harley's like, you know, hey, your computer's dead. He's like, it's okay. My utility belt has a bunch of different pockets with tons of things in it. I've got a backup in here. I call it a battery.
They pulled off the meme.
To which Harley replies, no, you fucking didn't. Like the cuss is in there and everything. Like,
It was great. I enjoyed it. I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
I think I just had an aneurysm.
But we close out this issue with Catwoman basically trying to recruit Penguin and Riddler to leave and join her in a heist. They're like, why the hell would we leave? And she's like, I'll make you both billionaires. And that's kind of how we end this. So I guess she's going to propose to have them help steal back Bruce's money. And she's going to, of course, share with them some of the money. But if you, this plot is in Catwoman 25, another one of the tie-ins. And I mean, I guess we should have covered that. That would have been more relevant than Killer Croc. Kind of feel like we screwed the pooch on this one here.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure she sends the money to the Fox family, if I remember correctly. I don't think she sends it back to Bruce, but she does get the money back, which comes in later. So we open up 99 with the Joker displaying more of his Leto tendencies here.
He's got the money to do it.
Fucking hell, man.
That stretch Joker Hummer.
He's got a stretched Joker Hummer. He's going full Jared Leto here. And Joker delivers a long monologue to one of his henchmen about how he remembers the city being gritty, and this is all about making Batman remember that the city wasn't his. You know, Batman's tried to buy this city and make it pretend it was something else, like it was clean and it was good and it had hope, and really, you know, it's grimy, it's disgusting, but it's alive and it's violent and it just wants to lash out and hurt somebody. Blah 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 blah. Convoluted Joker monologue. It's fine. Joker's a bad guy and he wants chaos. It's really all it comes down to. But on the ride to Ace Chemical, of course, he shoots the fucking driver in the head because after you spill his guts to somebody, he can't let anybody live after that. Right?
Yeah.
Punchline, of course, reports in. She's like, oh, yeah, Batman, Harley tied me up for the cops. But our Joker, our buddies, you know, came by and let me loose, you know, because, well, fucking, of course they did. You know, the cops have been tied up with everything else. Like, that was just one of those moments. It just reminded me of the Venture Brothers, like when Captain Sunshine takes the Monarch to prison. And he's like,
what did he do to you?
The usual. He threw me in jail. Literally, threw me right into the yard at the state prison. Then he shouts up to the warden, looks like this one won't be causing any more trouble. And he flies off with a Galen salute.
Oh my God.
Apparently nobody ever told him what due process was.
yeah, that's what they tied me up and left me for the cops. Like, of course you fucking got out. Or you kind of, how fucking simple can you be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Punchline calls Joker and says that Batman's still in play and she's sorry she didn't do more and she failed him, which she just doesn't fucking get. Again, we talked about how Punchline and Harley again goes over this in the last issue, just at fucking length, as well as with the Alfred hallucinations like we talked about. But Punchline tries to kill Batman that scene because she thinks that Harley even says it to her. He's like, I thought the Joker had a heart. You thought he had a brain. He's got some grand plan that he's going to take the world and watch the world burn. He doesn't care about the world. He doesn't care about you. He cares about Batman. She's like, I'll show you what he cares about by killing Batman right here and now. And then we'll take our show on the road. And it's like, yeah, Punchline's a fucking idiot. She don't get it. She's just as delusional as Harley was back in the day because the Joker cares about nothing, nothing but the dance with Batman and keeping it going in new and horrific ways. Joker says he's got to change into his new suit. He's like, well, it's time to step things up. He's like, tell the clowns that every person they kill, I'll give them $1,000. And if it's one of the bats, I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
Step up the violence, step up the chaos. I'm going to change to my new outfit. And we'll get to the outfit in a little bit because that's something we really need to talk about because the outfit ultimately is the symbol for what this entire story is about.
Yes.
But we get Bruce with the Bat family, pretty much all of them. I don't think Damien's there, but we've got Tim Drake's there. Dick's there, still just being Dick because he just recently got his memory back. Batgirl, Red Hood, like I said,
Signal, Orphan.
who I've got no idea who the fuck Signal or Orphan are. I'm not gonna lie. Or Spoiler. I got three out of this whole group of people. I've got no idea who the fuck they are. I know there's like the Red Hood and the Outlaws comic. Maybe they're from that.
They might be.
something.
I think so.
No idea. One of them looks like Wolverine joined the Batman.
Well, he gets a
Signal.
well, he gets a little expose in Death Metal.
Who, Signal?
Huh.
Who the hell was he?
He was another bat guy.
Okay.
I forget what it was, but yeah, one of the evil Batman comes up and kills him in Death Metal.
Okay. So I guess obviously he had a lot of staying power. Yeah,
Together.
Batman starts his apology tour again. And luckily this time, though, he doesn't have everyone just digging at him going, you're right. You should apologize for not being good enough to us. Luckily, there's none of that. And it's fairly short. It's basically one word. It's like, hey, I know I haven't been the best to you guys, but I need your help now. And let's get this shit done. So at least the Batman apology tour was brief this time. I'll at least thank God for small mercies because I fucking hate the Batman apology tour. I really do. Batman's not your fucking dad, guys. Get over the fact that he wasn't a good dad to you. His dad was shot in front of him as a child. He doesn't have a good fucking father figure. All right. Alfred's his dad. Yeah, Alfred did the best he could, but Alfred was a fucking servant who came from a point of a subservient point for a lot of Batman's life. I'm sure as Batman grew up, he started to see him as a father figure and took it on. But like, I guarantee you, if when it came down to it, Batman said, go do this, it would be, yes, sir, let me go do it. As opposed to, no, I'm the dad, go do what you're fucking told.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I don't know if you saw the Titans show on the DC streaming and then on now it's on HBO, I guess. There's a lot of that with the Dick Grayson character where it's a lot of him brooding and not wanting to be robbed anymore because Batman is been a bad dad to him or some shit like that. And it's like, yeah, but that's kind of the point.
He's not your fucking dad.
Yeah,
he's doing the best he can. If you don't want this lifestyle, he's never forced anyone to do this.
Yeah, another thing that made me laugh about it a lot was they went on this whole thing where like, oh, well, Dick Grayson left Bruce Wayne because he's becoming too brutal. He's becoming too violent and resorting to, hurting people more than he's supposed to or some shit like that. But then whenever it shows him, the dude that plays him is the dude from Game of Thrones that was running around with Cersei. I forgot the dude's name.
Lannister?
Not Cersei, my bad. Jesus Christ.
Don't blame him.
Dragon
for
Lady.
Memory.
I blame him for a lot. The Dragon Lady, the guy that was running around with her and then sold her out and then came back.
Jorah.
That guy, yeah, he plays Bruce Wayne. And he plays almost like an Adam West kind of Bruce Wayne. Like you never actually see him as Batman, but he comes in and he's always like everyone, let's have dinner together. It's like, this doesn't seem like a guy that's become too brutal for Gotham City. Like it's a complete opposite of what they said he was.
No, well, you guys understand, man. A lot of people who write today have no idea how to actually flesh things out in stories. So they just tell you what you're supposed to feel and what you're supposed to think about people. It's kind of like how a lot of their fucking shitty ass Mary Sue fucking characters, they have all the other characters run by them one at a time, go and tell them how fucking great they are, instead of actually having them do anything great because they don't know how to fucking write a story. Everyone's just around them going, "Oh, you're so awesome at everything you do. You're just the best. Without you, we'd all be fucked." Ray Skywalker, eat my balls.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Star Wars.
I'm looking at you, Star Wars. Fuck you, J.J. Abrams, you mystery box cocksucker. Every chance I get, every fucking chance I get, I'll lay in. Like, I don't know what I love more, laying into J.J. Abrams or making fun of Nicolas Cage's drug addiction.
Well,
those are the cornerstones of my channel, man.
There's a whole rant about it.
I think I saw that rant, actually.
There's a whole 5-minute rant, a dedicated video of me bitching about Nicolas Cage.
In all fairness, J.J. Abrams did learn not to use so many solar flares after that first Star Trek movie.
He could make a movie called Solar Flare, the fucking movie, as long as he knows where it's going to go in the end before he fucking starts it.
Yeah.
So I think one of the favorite parts of the Batman apology tour in this issue was when he gives Grayson his Nightwing costume back.
I didn't really consider that part of the apology tour necessarily as a nice point, because if you've been reading Nightwing, he's been going through a lot of shit ever since I think it was Death of the Family, or where the hell the Joker cut off his face a bit, and like I know that he's had his memory wiped and taken by the Court of Owls and fucked with by somebody else, and he's just now, if you've been reading his tie-ins to the Joker War, he's just now finally gotten his memories back completely and figured out who he was and remembered all his training, which is again why he's able to take Punchline down so easily later on, because he gets in a fight with her and he's like, yeah, you're not fighting someone who's forgotten all his training and is sluggish. You're fighting, basically who should be Batman's successor.
Yeah.
And he'd been there the longest, right? But as Batman's there with the Bat family, he gives them all their marching orders, telling them their assignments, what they need to do to try and take the city back, blocking time, take the Joker's thugs down and stuff. But he's going to go to Ace Chemical and confront the Joker and end this once and for all. Harley, of course, wants to come with him. She's like, I'm coming to kill the Joker. He's like, no, that's not what we're doing. She's like, fuck you. That's what we're doing. And he goes to Ace Chemical. And of course, he's trying to walk in without her. And, he gets shot in the arm, grazed in the arm. And Harley behind him. She's like, got your attention, basically. And she's like, this has got to end. This story can't keep going this way. And he's like, no, Joker's going to get locked up. He's like, I am the wrong person to try and convince the Joker is not dangerous when he's locked up in Arkham. You're not going to convince me that he's going to be safe locked up in fucking Arkham.
Yeah.
It's like, this is done. This has got to end. And Batman's like, no. She's like, fine, but if he kills you, I'm putting him down. He's like, no, you're not killing him. And she's like, you need to put me down hard, because if I get back up, I'm going to kill him. And Batman just turns and walks in. But he's leaving that wild card there.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the back of his mind, he kind of wants Harley to kill him. He wants to be conscious. He wants to say he did everything he could, but it's kind of like when Batgirl missed hitting Jason Todd's hand with the Batarang in Joker War when he shot Joker in the first Joker in the head. It's like she's like, why did you shoot him? He's like, when was the last time you missed? You wanted it as bad as I did. Otherwise you wouldn't have missed that shot with that Batarang.
Yep.
You would have stopped me if you didn't want me to do it. So maybe Bruce wants this over too. But after this, Batman goes inside Ace Chemical and he's like, tells Joker, he's like, we're about to take back the city. So whatever last move you're going to play, just play it. But I'm ready for it. Let's just get this over with. And Joker's like, oh no, buddy boy, you ain't ready for this one. And remember the little nano zombie Jokerized zombies from a couple issues ago?
Yeah. Joker pulls out his trap card. It's like, ha ha.
Yeah.
You fool.
Zombie Alfred.
Alfred.
Dug up the body himself. And he's got Zombie Alfred there with the cricked over neck going, why'd you let me die? And all sorts of fucked up shit. And then the Joker's there in the new outfit.
The Blue Knight.
He took the Blue Knight, the cosmic Batman outfit, as it were, the cosmic Spider-Man Batman outfit. He had his...
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's part of the storyline. He had a suit that was supposed to be one of those, like, he would only don it once he'd made the CD the perfect, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be his, like, he had a job well done thing. And in fact, let's just talk about that now.
Okay.
So Joker's donning the suit, the cosmic Batman suit, as I like to call it, the Blue Knight, the cosmic Spider-Man Batman suit, whatever. And that's how we end this one with Zombie Alfred and Joker making a mockery of that soup that was supposed to be the symbol of hope. Of Batman having accomplished everything and brought Gotham into
Peaceful utopia.
Peaceful utopia, I guess. Yeah. what was it? Joker said it's a Metropolis with less aliens.
Yeah, Metropolis without aliens.
Batman 100, the conclusion of our story here.
Batman 100.
Batman keeping it 100. I'm sorry, that's not even a joke.
DC not even doing a good job with this cover.
No, this is a wraparound cover with a spine on it. Does not a wraparound cover make, y'all. That is very confusing as to why y'all did that. And like, well, it's thick enough to need a spine. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's got a black strip for the spine as opposed to a continuation of the picture because it's a wrap around picture. Never mind.
I was thinking that too. It should definitely like have some sort of like merge of some kind. It should have like done
Float into
something
it,
instead
yeah.
of just
Yeah, nope. I like the opening of this a lot. We start with Batgirl like basically storming into the Oracle hideout in the clock tower. And it's cool because she's like suiting up by suiting down. Because she's like giving commands to the computer. She's like, give me a location on every Joker thug in the city. We need cameras here, here, here. Give me pin it on the map. Complied. Back door into the back computer. Turn it on. Give me location of all the load on. She's like, tell everyone Oracle's back online. Like puts her glasses back on, like her fucking just like her reading glasses back on, sits down. It's like she was like suiting up as Oracle again. It's like, fuck yeah. It was the coolest moment of anyone getting like reverse Superman ever. Instead of like ripping it off and pulling the glasses off, it was sitting down and putting the glasses on. It was equally as badass.
Yeah.
Gonna have to say. Like, I totally dug that moment.
Yeah, it was a real good feel good moment. I genuinely enjoyed that part too.
And her talking to Nightwing again in his ear. It's like, there's a guy behind you. He's like, I saw him. He's like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No. Oh, it's great. It was so good. And while this is going on, of course, with the GCPD's been locked up with bureaucracy in the mayor's office because of Joker's money and stuff. They get a word from the Joker or from the mayor.
Essentially the Joker.
Yeah. But Mayor tells Bullock, he's like, he wants all the police to go shut down the Oracle network immediately. And if he doesn't comply, he wants his badge and his gun. He's like, he's already on thin ice as it is. And Bullock's like, fuck, what would Gordon do? I was not even a question about it and just throws his badge and gun down. He's like, you know what? I got a radio and I got a conscience. You can either, he tells all the other cops, like, you can be you can be a cop in a dirty city, or you can come with me and do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it was another moment where it made GCPD look pretty good. It made Bullock look pretty good. This whole series has made them look pretty good.
Yeah.
And again, I was so surprised by that given the current climate when hating cops is kind of all the vogue. So it was sounding nice. It was a little refreshing.
At least they all didn't get locked in a sewer.
And get saved by the scrawny kid from Third Rock from the Sun. Please.
Angels in the outfield. Came in doing one of these.
Oh, yeah. That's why they call him Robin.
You didn't see it, but Joey was back there flapping his wings.
Just like that.
If I do that too many times, Christopher Lloyd will appear. So Batman and Joker, of course, fight a little bit. We go a little back and forth there. Joker shows off some of the toys he's bought, exploding little batarangs with lips on them and stuff. And mostly just has a good time with a couple of the gadgets and stuff. But he, Batman cuts the lights off and Joker tries like, oh, I can see in the dark because I'm a bat too. And Batman just knocks that fucking cowl right off his face, just cracks the whole damn thing. He's like, you're not a bat, So Joker steps at the plan and blows Ace Chemical. Punchline seeing this from the Underbroker's hideout. It's like, oh, I guess it's time to ramp things up. And
yeah,
this was the next step. Yeah.
Next step, we're out of line in the plan. We don't know what's going on. Shit, we better hurry up.
And she starts to give commands. The Underbroker comes in. It's like, yeah, someone stole all your money. So since you don't have any money, get the fuck out. She's like, we've given you a small fortune. He's like, and it's gone. So if you ever get some more money, come back and see me.
We can put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
He even says, yeah, you got my card, right?
But before she can fuck off, of course, the whole Batman family comes in, and Nightwing, again, of course, having regained his consciousness, is in full badass form, and him and the orphans and the rest of them just lay the smackdown on Punchline and the thugs. And that's it for Punchline, for fighting goes.
Well, first it's Nightwing and Punchline, and then the Joker thugs show up, and she's like, oh, you're outnumbered. And then he's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, and then he's got the rest of the Batman cast-off characters. There's a big joke about that. So what Joker say to Batman? It's like, you and all those orphans you keep collecting.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you think you can retire in a house full of robins and little grand robins?
Which is great because you can just condense that down in the Groblins, which is what the Batman Who Laughs
Yeah.
I love that. Goblins.
Crow.
Crow. Cheer. It's cheer now.
That's right, because of the Robin King.
He infected all.
But as Batman and Joker fight on, Batman's like, my guys have already taken the city back. You've lost the war, or you're not gonna get your war. And Joker's saying what we said the entire time. It's like, when he started this, the war had already ended. The war won as soon as he achieved getting the money. Because as soon as he got the money, he was going to unleash a level of chaos that no matter when you stopped him was going to be irreparable. And that's exactly what happened.
Mhm.
The Joker explains it to him again, because I don't think Tinian trusts his readers, I don't guess. But it was like, no, you're smart enough to realize that this thing was won the second I started this chaos. This city can never come back from what I've done to it. You'll never get to wear this suit. You'll never get to have your beacon of hope, your city of hope. You'll never get there. You'll never achieve it. You're going to have to start over from square one. I've robbed you of your hope and your future. And that was the whole point of this. He's like, I've stopped you from your plan of killing people at the theater. He's like, who fucking cares about the theater? That would have been a nice cherry on top of this whole thing to torture people the way you were tortured. But the whole thing was to make sure you never got to wear this fucking costume. You never got to earn. I made sure that you could never earn this for yourself. Something you wanted deep in your heart, I took it from you. That's all this was about. And it was great.
Mhm.
That reveal is great. Not a reveal, because if you're paying attention, you got it in the first place. But again, he spells it out for people, and that's fine. Yeah, I guess. I bitched about it, but whatever. And it's true, because the Joker plays things on such a micro level. He just wants to torture the shit out of Batman and keep this thing going. Because again, like they say, he's the only other person that's alive, and he just wants to, he found another living creature, and instead of trying to coax the life into it, like, imagine being on a barren earth, right? You're on a barren earth and you find something else that's alive, instead of oh shit, I got to keep this other thing alive, so I'm not the only thing else that's alive. He just keeps poking with a hot poker, because every time he does, it makes it wriggle, and the movement soothes him. It's like, oh, something else is alive and moving, so I'm going to keep poking with the red poker.
Mhm.
That's the Joker. I think that there's a lot of deep stuff in the Joker and in their relationship back and forth, that if you're just reading these stories surface level, this one, Three Jokers 2, it gets pretty boring. Batman does some apology shit. The Joker fucks with him a little bit. They have a fight in a theater or a chemical plant, and it's done. And honestly, that over and over again is boring. But every time that, the Joker just turns that screw even more, and just lays it on even more, that's what's worth coming back for.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
To find out if Batman's ever going to break eventually. And again, I think he did in Killing Joke. That was it. That's when he finally broke.
Oh, we can get to the rest of this where I think he kind of finally broke too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're at the end, essentially.
So after he lays out his expose again and he's on top of Batman, Harley comes and shoots him in the eye.
Yeah, it
Well-
doesn't seem to phase him much.
No, shoots him in the eye, and then she basically tells Batman, she's like, "Hey, I got a bomb. This is a pretty good bomb.
2 bombs.
2 bombs." Ties him up.
Ties up Joker, ties a bomb to him, ties a bomb to herself, and then takes off. And she's like, "You got to defuse one of them. Either you let him keep going on doing what he's doing, or you save me. But you can't save us both." And Batman has been stabbed in the side at this point by Joker with electrified shank, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal, that twisting backstab shot he got in on him earlier. And Batman starts telling the Joker, he's like, you pickpocketed the tools from that bat suit you were in, right? Disarm the bomb. He's like, Joker's like, doesn't work that way. You got to save me. And I know you're not going to let me die here with Alfred. Are you? But Batman's like, you know what?
Yeah, Batman goes off after Harley and
Leaves him to die. It's like, fuck it. Which was nice. I think it was a nice, because at the end, we cut from right there to Batman and Harley, and Harley's in the hospital and Batman standing next to her bed, and she gives the whole oh, it's a new day, blah, blah, blah kind of speech. And she's like, oh, the people might be shitty, but they're just trying their best, kind of, blah, 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 blah. bullshit speech is wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. But he does tell us that oh no, the Joker we didn't find his body. The bomb was disarmed at the last minute. And we found the bomb, and he
Yep.
escaped. So he used his tools to escape. Yada yada
Of course.
yada. And then we get a little bit of a couple of denouements. We get the introduction of our next villain for next week, which would be Ghostmaker. Who cool design, whatever. Don't
Yeah.
care. We get that. We get Batman and Harley giving their little expose about a new tomorrow. What else do we got? We got
Clown Hunter.
yeah, he goes and confronts the Clown Hunter, and the Clown Hunter usually gave him the whole like you weren't there to protect us. But it's just it's another Jason Todd character. I can't take it, man. Clown Hunter's gonna be another one of those people who he's gonna be a vigilante that Batman's gonna try and keep in line, but he's gonna resent and hate Batman the entire time.
Yeah, and Batman can't really do anything about it. He even says, he goes, your neighbor supports you. If I bring you in, they're not going to corroborate anything. You're going to go scot free.
Yeah.
So he's kind of effed on that.
Yeah, but he will. He's like, but if I got to put you down, if I got to put you down outside this for killing people, I will.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not going to tolerate you killing people. He's like, if you want help, here's a number to a therapist, basically. But you need to put the mask and stuff away. Be done with this. And he's like, yeah, therapy help does sound nice when I'm done. He's still got shit to do.
Yep.
I guess he still wants to kill the Joker or Punchline or whatever else. I don't know. I like the design of the character. I don't think we need another I hate Batman character in the Batman universe as far as the good guys go. Unless you're going to just make him a bad guy after all this. I think he'd make a far better villain at this point in time.
I think so.
I think it'd be one of those, like, you related to him at the beginning because you thought he was going to be a hero vigilante, like a brutal Azrael type, actually killed, or like a Jason Todd. But this all just turns him into a bad guy in the end. I think that would be a much more interesting way to go with him. But
yeah, he takes over that city, that neighborhood,
Yeah.
in Future State, and just kind of runs that area.
yeah, it becomes kind of a Robin Hood-ish
Mhm.
sort of type character. Maybe a little more brutal, a little more uncompromising.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's good places to go with them. I just don't need another member of the Bat family who's constantly shitting on Batman and forcing him to apologize for not doing well by them. I've had that story from like several characters now, and I don't need it anymore. Finally, though, we get Joker in a diner. This guy's like giving him the news about what's going on. We see like, Punchline giving a apology social media video saying the Joker manipulated her, and it's all part of the act. She even said before she got captured, I think she was on the phone. I guess she was on the phone with Joker, but he was in the middle of the fight. So I don't know who the fuck she was on the phone with. Because she's like, yes, I remember the plan. I'll never lose faith. I love you.
I guess maybe she got the voicemail and just left the voicemail.
I don't sound like she was talking back and forth. I don't know. I think we were supposed to assume she was talking to Joker, but I think that she couldn't have been. Because again, he was in the middle of a fight. So is she playing another angle we don't know about?
Well, he had the bat suit, so she could have been talking to him.
On the little earpiece? I don't know. I'm sure that, again, it's supposed to be implied that she's talking to him, but
Mhm.
I'm going to say that it might not be. It may be just as plain as it seems. There may be nothing else to it. But if there are shenanigans, I just want it noted that I called it now. Or at least I said be on the lookout for it because of that line. My hackles are raised. That's all I'm saying. Joker watches the video of her, like, blaming the Joker for everything and saying that he kidnapped and tortured her and forced her to do stuff and she was not to blame and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, yeah, she's really good. And then he starts lighting a cigarette and blows like chemicals in this guy's face and kills him and makes him kind of look like Joker. I guess he's going to use his body to make it look like he's dead or something. That's kind of what they implied with it.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. He said they're gonna find you.
Yeah.
His skin's gonna be perfectly bleached and everything. And
That's right. I kind of scanned that last bit because I was sick of reading. My bad.
How
yeah, so
dare
no,
you.
no, he plans on turning this guy into the Joker's body so
Yeah, I
that he
just
can
remember
rest a
going-
little bit longer.
He goes, are you him? He's like, no, you are. Then blows the smoke in his face. And I kind of skipped over the rest of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I got the point.
I skimmed it.
Yeah, I skimmed it. You got it.
Got the gist.
It was the second time reading it. And it was just overall good story. I like that it comes down to, it was such an epic story arc and it all breaks down to, again, Joker just wanted to steal a little bit of hope from him of a new tomorrow, of a better tomorrow. Anything that Bruce gets in his head that he might be able to achieve, Joker just wants to rob him of it and to keep this dance going. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So the Batman and Joker dynamic is always fun, but I again, the people, it's like we said before though, there is an ultimate problem with the fact that Batman won't kill the Joker. And it's the problem that every single one of his companions is forced to bring up every single time because anyone who writes Batman looks at it and goes, this is dumb. And you can't not address it. And that's the fact that he should fucking kill the Joker. That he should not be allowed to live anymore. That regardless of whatever your morals are, it is a righteous kill. That the Joker does way more harm alive than he could ever do dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get why everyone in every issue with the Joker is like, why don't you end this? You know, and Batman never has a good fucking reason for it. All right, that was Joker War, man. Any final thoughts on this?
No. I thought it was a good story. It was well told. I don't think it's gonna be as classic, like I said, as Quarter Owls or anything like that. But
No, and I feel the same way I kind of felt about. I liked it better than the Absolute Carnage, but I think I felt I kind of came out of this one feeling the same way that some of these modern story arcs just don't feel nearly as epic as the older ones did when we were kids. And maybe it's because you look at it through the eyes of a child, you know, and everything just feels much more epic than it actually is.
I mean, we say that, but like Quarter Owls isn't really that old.
Well, I was comparing to Absolute Carnage to Maximum Carnage,
Yeah.
you know. But these aren't bad. And again, Joker stories are smaller stories. And I think this one would have I think I would have liked this one a lot more if it wasn't coming out the same time as the Three Jokers, because there were so many repeated story beats here. But I do like the fact that when it all comes down to it, it's such a small thing, just stealing hope from Batman, as opposed to like done in this grand epic way of conquering the city, but just for a little while. It's like we said, Joker never expects to win, nor does he really want to win. He just wants to keep fucking with Batman. As a matter of fact, if he won, the game would be over. It would be no fun. He doesn't want to win.
No, every life he can steal away from Batman, it's just positive for him.
No, that's the thing. That's the game. It's the game of souls, right? It's heaven or hell, right? It's angels and demons fighting over the human soul, right? You're trying to fight for every single soul for your side. For every human being, every soul that Batman keeps alive, that's a victory against Joker. For every person Joker kills, that's a victory against Batman. It's fighting for the souls, basically. It's that light in the dark, fighting for life versus fighting for death. Good stories.
Yeah.
I still recommend it, even though I do have some complaints and they're not overly thrilling. And especially because we kind of got the story twice, like I said, in two different arcs. But worth it. And I feel like I said we did a mistake. We mistakenly covered some of the wrong
tie-ins.
Well, just one. We should have just skipped over some of the. We should just skipped over the Croc and Two-Face stuff, which I like, but Catwoman's tie-in was much more. 25 actually had the heist in it, so that one actually really tied into the story more so than any of the other ones did.
Yeah,
so.
And I imagine one of the Nightwings would have tied in better towards the end.
The Nightwing stories were pretty self-contained; they weren't bad, but there was a crystal controlling him. Joker used it and made him change his memories to like the Joker's one who saved him as a child, and the Batman's the one who fucked him over. So he was kind of like his Robin, his son, and then eventually Nightwing broke the crystal and got his memories back and fought him off. It wasn't even as harrowing as the Batgirl stuff where she like rips out her own fucking implant because the Joker hacked into it and was controlling her way she walked and stuff. So she like literally rips her own implant out to stop him. Like that's pretty fucking badass. Which apparently it's not this is like the second time she's done that. And Luke Fox is putting back in. He's like, the scar tissue on here, I can't put it back a fourth time. This is it. If you tear it out again, you're done. This is the last time it's getting ripped out. You can't do this again, and this cannot be your go-to move every time.
I stubbed my toe. Rip it out.
At least the toe pain's gone. Can't feel it anymore. All right, man. So yeah, that was Joker War. Yeah. I do recommend getting it. I do recommend checking it out. But if you have a choice between this and Three Jokers, and you only do one, do Three Jokers.
Three Jokers.
All right, guys. On our next episode, we're going to have a brand new independent comic. We will post some updates on social media. Get you guys excited for that coming. And then after that,
local comic, actually.
Yeah, local DFW comic. And then after that, we're going to be doing Maximum Carnage.
Sure.
Maximum Carnage into Absolute Carnage. Then we'll do a nice compare and contrast episode. So.
Then we can get into King of Black because by then it should be wrapped up.
Yeah. Get ready for a lot of symbiote talk, y'all. want to switch gears. We've been doing nothing but DC. We're about to do some Marvel. So, all right, guys, please like, please subscribe, please keep watching more of our shit, and say hi to your mother for me.